launching a tasty pastry. It's a low-carb Pop-Tart. It's got 3 to 4 grams of net carbs, and we love this show. This is our best place to be in LA.
Welcome back to Legendary Foods, Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Wednesday, October 27th, 2021. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. Ladies and gentlemen, for the second week in a row, we have a fully loaded edition of Recap Wednesday coming your way, starting with the rundown of all the action at last weekend's Legion Sports Fest. And of course, the big story here comes from the Men's Open, where Sean Clarita cemented his status as a true modern-day giant killer by winning his first show in the Open division in spectacular fashion. In Classic Physique, George Herrera looked impressive on the way to collecting the first win of his pro career. And in Men's Physique, Kyron Holden became the first athlete in the history of the Legions to bring home the hardware on 3 separate occasions. Over on the women's side of things, Missy Truscott rebounded after a tough Olympia weekend as she landed herself back in the winner's circle. In bikini, Spain's Ivana Escobar came out of nowhere to snag a huge victory. And we're wrapping things up here with women's physique, where Natalia Coelho put together another spectacular effort on her way to securing another win and Olympia qualification. Down in the Alamo City of San Antonio, Texas, we had a new-fashioned shootout in the wellness division. But when the smoke finally cleared, it was a familiar face in Isabella Nunes, who found herself as the last woman standing for the second time this season. A strong performance by Lorena Ragusa was enough to help her land in the runner-up spot, as she did just enough to edge out eventual third-place finisher Devin Cambry. Canada's Cassandra Gillis brought home 4th, and rounding out the top 5 was Brooke Donnelly, who put together her best effort of the season. Next up, we have the Hurricane Pro, where we're going to start with Classic Physique and Alex Cabernero, who was flat out dominant from the word go, as he cruised to another big-time victory. Once again, the state of Florida was good to Daniel Ammons in Men's Physique, as he collected his second win of the season a few months after his decisive win at the Miami Pro back in June. In figure, Maria Diaz returned to the winner's circle for the first time this season, as she managed to edge out a really strong second-place effort from Sandra Grajales. And in bikini, Georgiana Lee put together one of her best performances of the season, which helped propel her to the victory. Out on the West Coast in sunny San Diego, the Muscle Contest crew hosted this year's edition of the Border States Pro, and the big story here was Kyron Holden putting together another lights-out performance on the way to adding another win to his season total. The runner-up spot went to Raynel Chavez Pulido, as he managed to just barely edge out a strong effort from veteran Andre Smith. Former NPC national champ Godfrey Saranda slid into 4th, and wrapping up our coverage here was 5th-place finisher Rodney Harvey. And last but not least on our weekend rundown is the Polish Pro, where we're starting off our coverage with the bikini division, where Poland's own Wiktoria Gasor took home the number 1 spot. Italy's Anna Maria Vintu slid into 2nd, and in 3rd we had another homegrown product in Adriana Kazmarek. In Classic Physique, once again, Mike Somerville took care of business on the way to collecting his second win of the season. Poland's Hubert Kolsinski locked up the runner-up spot, and rounding out the top 3 here was Hani Saeed, who looked good in his first trip back to the stage in nearly 2 years. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.